I have here a facsimile edition of Robert Burns's first Commonplace book. Wrote this stuff before anybody knew who he was, and there's an early draft of Green Grow the Rashes O. It's missing the last verse. Otherwise, it's quite similar to the famous version, of which the last verse is, Old Nature swears the lovely dears her noblest work she classes O. Her prentice hand she tried on man, and then she made the lasses O. I find when I sing this early version, I do not miss the last verse there. It's just a little different lyrically, but what's interesting is that it starts with the chorus, as does the version in his volume of poems. And we don't have his manuscript that was submitted to the Scots Musical Museum where it was published with the tune. And that starts with the first verse. Why does this matter? Because it was written to an old tune and it was in the dance collections, but with various names, which I can't bring to mind at the moment. But it starts on the low part, and if you start with the chorus verse and you take it literally against the tune, it would put the chorus on the low part and the verses on the high part. So I want to do it that way, and I want to see what people think about it, because it's a different experience. Green grow the rashes o, green grow the rashes o, his sweetest hours that e'er I spend are spent among the lasses o. There's nought but care on every hand, in every hour that passes o. What signifies the life o' man, and twere for the lasses o. Green grow the rashes o, green grow the rashes o, the sweetest hours that e'er I spend are spent among the lasses o. The worldly race may riches chase, and riches still may fly them o, and though at last they catch them fast, their hearts can ne'er enjoy them o. Green grow the rashes o, green grow the rashes o, the sweetest hours that e'er I spend are spent among the lasses o. But gie me a canny it in my arms I put my dearie o, and worldly cares and worldly men may all go tapsalteerie o. Green grow the rashes o, green grow the rashes o, the sweetest hours that e'er I spend are spent among the lasses o. For you that's douse and sneers at this, ye're nought but senseless asses o. The wisest man the world saw, he dearly loved the lasses o. Green grow the rashes o, green grow the rashes o, the sweetest hours that e'er I spend are spent among the lasses o. Interesting. So the differences there, the published version has gay tapsalteerie instead of go tapsalteerie here. It's actually spelled G-O-E here. And then the popular version has for you say douse, he sneered at this. So sober and serious. For you that's douse and sneers at this is the one in here. He writes this sort of essay on the types of men, the grave and the merry. And then he writes, before he puts this lyric in, he says, the foregoing was to have been an elaborate dissertation on the various species of men. But as I cannot please myself in the arrangement of my ideas on the subject, I must wait till farther experience and a nicer observation throw more light on the subject. In the meantime, I shall set down the following fragment, which, as it is the genuine language of my heart, will enable anybody to determine which of the classes I belong to. I think we're all clear on which of the classes Robert Burns belonged to. So, yeah, interesting. I've put up the other version of the song, and I went along with the way it was published in the Scots Musical Museum. It was in the first volume, one of his first songs that was included there. Since which time I've become more and more mistrustful of the musical director of the Scots Musical Museum, who meddled with the tunes of the great Scots tunesmith and bungled the forms of many of Burns's lyrics, including A Red, Red Rose, The Rosebud, Oh, yon high mossy mountains, what can a young lassie do wi' an old man, to daunt in me. He's just a lazy son of a bitch. His name was Stephen Clark. He was a church organist from Durham, England. And his setting of this tune is mediocre compared to the one I sang you, which is from Neil Stewart's Reels and Country Dances. So that's it. I wonder what people think about the low versus the high part. It's usually done as "It's knock about care on every hand and every hour that passes, oh, what signifies the life of man, and twere not for the lasses, oh, green crow the rashes, oh, green crow the rashes, oh, the sweetest tours that e'er a spend are spent among the lasses, oh." That's how it's usually done.